So you're thinking about moving out here to lovely Irvine, California, but you don't have any idea what the different neighborhoods are like. You want to know, what's this one like? What's good about this? What's good about that? So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to get out the map and we're going to go all over Irvine, and we're going to tell you things that you're really going to love about Irvine, and we're going to tell you things that you're really going to hate, which is probably more important because you really want to avoid the pain and the discomfort and the expense of moving out to the wrong place. I mean, who knows? After you see this video, you could end up hating Irvine.
We've actually had people that it does not work for them. And
yes.
You don't totally get it.
Yes, so let's get started. So here we are in Orange County, and I don't know if you can see Irvine yet, but you want to click on it. So clicking on Irvine shows us that Irvine is dead center in the middle of Orange County, which is a big reason why Irvine is so popular. If you've ever watched this channel, you may see that we talk about Irvine a lot, and that's because we get a lot of calls about Irvine. Irvine is actually world famous. Actually, a lot of people around the world know Irvine more than they know Orange County because it consistently gets in the news for things like being the safest city in America for a population of 250,000 or greater, according to FBI data, 17 years and counting. So it gets in the news for that. It gets in the news for the Irvine Unified School District. It's ranked very, very highly according to many different ranking sites. It's often on national ranking sites. Another reason why people know about Irvine is because niche.com often names it as one of the nicest places to live in the United States. I think it might be number 5 or number 7 on this year's list. I mean, I can never remember. The years bleed into one another, so.
So is life, the slog of life.
The slog of life, yes. Yes.
Yeah, which is funny because there's no shows about Irvine.
No.
Boring day in Irvine.
Yeah.
Nothing new happened today.
I know.
That's out of the ordinary.
Yes, and I know Sean likes to tell the story. So we were in London, and someone was asking us, "Where are you from?" And we're like, "Oh, we're from Orange County." And you could tell that he had no idea what we're talking about. And then he's like, "Oh well." And then I said, "Oh, it's south of Los Angeles." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I've been to Irvine." So he knew what Irvine was, but he had no idea.
He's like, "No." He's like, "I've been to Irvine. Is it close to that?" I'm like, "It's actually within. Irvine is within Orange County." So yeah. So before we continue, I'm Sean Dezad.
And I'm Courtney Dezad, and we are licensed real estate agents here in the state of California.
And if you're watching this channel, you might be thinking, wow, Sean, I love Orange County. I love the glitz. I love the glamour. I love the incredible weather, and I can't wait to move out there now. The problem is that I'm not local. I may be out of the state, or I may be even out of the country. So I don't know what to do. And I totally get that. That's why you want to reach out to us so we can have that conversation. Really find that perfect property that's really get granular about finding that perfect property for you. And then we're going to be your boots on the ground. And remember, we do have a team here, so that way someone is always available for you to really help you with those showings. So what you want to do is you want to give us a call or shoot us a text.
And remember, that number is a cell phone, so you can call us or text us, or you can use WhatsApp if you're outside the country. Yes, so let's start out. Do you want to start out with the OG of Irvine? Do you want to start out with Woodbridge?
Going with Woodbridge?
Yes.
The granddaddy?
So Irvine is known for its master planned communities. It's known for, having a park on every corner. It's known for its highly ranked schools, according to niche.com, greatschools.org. And Woodbridge is a village. So the different neighborhoods in Irvine are called villages. And Woodbridge is kind of the OG of master plan communities.
It is like the OG, that is for sure. And so basically Woodbridge itself, what I like about it was one, that it's very convenient. It's very easy to get to. So whether you're in, so the 405 freeway is one of the major freeways in all of Orange County and in all of Southern California for that matter. And it runs right along next to it. It's super close to the airport here. So the airport is right there. And so you have that. It's close to the Spectrum, which is a huge job hub. The airport is one as well. So I mean, if you're looking for job hubs here and UC Irvine, you're really close.
And then Newport Beach.
And then Newport Beach. That's
yes.
True. Let's see here. Where would be
Newport Center right there?
Newport Center right here.
Yeah.
And then of course you also have South Coast Metro.
Yes.
So jobs galore.
Yes.
if you want to be close to employment centers.
Yeah.
Woodbridge is super convenient. It is just very easy. I mean, Irvine for that matter, right? But Woodbridge, you're kind of a nice short trek for a lot of places. Actually, a lot of times I'll have people reaching out and they don't want to go. There's even they don't want to go farther south of Irvine. Let's say if they have work in or commute to LA or whatever. But sometimes even Irvine is too far out, all of Irvine is. They don't want to go all the way down to the Spectrum. So Woodbridge is almost one of those thresholds where okay, anything basically Woodbridge North or something like that. So that's kind of what Woodbridge has to offer, and it's tons of amenities, like lots of amenities. We have a listing there that we just got so much interest because people just love it there. There's just so much to do. Like for the residents and their guests, you have so many different amenities to choose from. Like you have the lagoon, you have the lakes, you have the tennis courts, you have the pools, so much stuff. So it's kind of amazing what it has to offer.
Yeah, and it is. So Irvine is the center of Orange County, and then Woodbridge is kind of the center of Irvine. So one thing that one thing I really like about it is just how centrally located it is. But it is on the older side, so you do have to know about that. I mean, when you have an older home, that means that we might have an older roof, or you might have an older air conditioning system. So you just have to keep that into consideration.
Yeah, it's a little bit older. It's just kind of how it is. A lot of stuff was built in the 70s, really, like 70s and 80s primarily. And so just be aware that's an older type of property. You don't have mellow roofs. So within Irvine, you're going to have some pockets that actually have mellow roofs. And what mellow roofs is, it's at basically this layer of additional property tax, and it's for newer construction. Really figure since let's say about the year 2000 and newer. And again, it drops off. The idea is for it to drop off over time. However, properties that are at least let's say within 20 years old, they have this extra layer of property tax that funds new roads, new infrastructure, new schools, new fire departments, all that stuff, right? So that all comes at a cost. So depending on the area, the mellow roofs thing can actually be rather significant. So it may be just a few $100s a year, and maybe almost doubling your property tax rate, which could be extremely significant. So obviously, when we have that conversation about what you're looking for, we will let you know what the HOA dues are, which are homeowner associations, which all of Woodbridge is part of. Like that has all of it has at least one form of a homeowner association, if not two. But then on top of that, you also have potential mellow roofs. So these obviously impact what your payment would be.
Not to totally have this video be totally about Woodbridge, but another thing I sort of think that Woodbridge exemplifies is, Irvine is famous for its master plan communities and really being packed in. Like it's famous for being flat, and you have a house on every corner, and you're kind of like in the Brady Bunch. Like you're in the middle, and then there's a house literally everywhere, and you can see your neighbors. You have to close the blinds when you're dressing, all of that kind of stuff. And that is how Woodbridge is. It's very typical of what you think of Irvine, just everyone packed together. Like the builders made the absolute most they could of the land. Not all of Irvine is like that, but that is what it's known for, and a large portion of Irvine is like that.
Yeah, and actually, just so you know, like a very big landmark is actually this thing. It's actually this Yale Loop. So you have a West Yale Loop and East, West Yale Loop and the East Yale Loop. So this is kind of so you have this outer band of homes, and then within it, you obviously have a bunch of other stuff. And again, another feature of Woodbridge that you may be not as desirable to some people is that there's very little gated communities here. So there's some, but not that much. So if you're looking for gated, I would say in general, you're probably looking somewhere else.
Yeah, and then also there's the lakes. Those are cute. I mean, they're small, but they're very pleasant. I mean, I like them a lot.
Yeah, you're not going to be doing a whole heck of a lot in these lakes. They're not but at the same time, they're a nice feature for sure. I'm here through the magic of the internets. So this is
the interwebs, the World Wide Web.
Yeah, so you have some lake stuff going on here.
Yeah.
Again, you're not seeing boats and stuff. That's not
they do
really...
have paddleboarding and stuff.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
that's a pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just what that has to offer.
Yeah.
So let's go to West Park, just because this is the northernmost edge of Irvine. So this is again a bit older, on the older side, 70s through 90s basically, as far as West Park is concerned. What people tend to like about it is that it's not as robust as far as the amenities. However, what it does have to offer is basically it's just closer to the edge of Irvine, where you're getting closer to northern Orange County and everything. So it's just a little bit more convenient. Again, as you can see with all the green, there's lots of parks here. I like West Park a lot, just because location-wise it's pretty convenient, and it's a little bit less restrictive. Woodbridge can be a little bit psycho, I guess.
Yeah, the HOA, the homeowners association.
Yeah, they can be pretty strict, and whereas West Park kind of
psycho. They actually can.
They can be. They can be pretty. Again, it's just how you navigate these things. It's just that some associations, even within the same city, right? Some things are a little bit more stringent than others, and so just be aware that for instance, West Park is a little bit more loose.
Now let's go to Turtle Rock. This is one of Sean's favorite neighborhoods in all of Orange County. And what's really nice about it is, so it has just a little bit nicer weather because it is west of the 405, hitting onto the edge of the 73 freeway, which is a toll road. And what's really nice about it is the topography. So it's much hillier than most of Irvine, so it doesn't have that feeling of like every house is packed on top of each other. Sean actually has some aunts and uncles that live out there. It's a very nice area.
Yeah. So because the topography is a bit more hilly and everything, what you have are more views as well. So you have views, you have homes that aren't as stacked together because of the topography of it. It's very lush, right? Like, it does feel like there's a lot of like mature trees. And again, that's one of the things about Irvine too. The older communities, you'll notice all the greenery and all that stuff is a lot more mature. So these trees are a lot bigger and all that stuff. So it just kind of, I don't know, like some people just don't like the brand new construction because the trees are so young that you feel like it's just desert. I mean, it's just not all that appealing.
Yeah.
And so this stuff's very settled and everything like that. And what I like about Turtle Rock too is that, as you were mentioning, and I guess it's we could talk about it. Basically, if you're in this stretch here, I would say right around here, that's flat land.
Yeah, very flat.
Very flat. And then if you go down here, much more hilly, and up here, much more hilly as well.
Or to the Orchard Hills part.
Yeah,
Orchard Hills, hence the name, hence the word hills, right? So that's more hilly.
Yes. So with that, you're just, again, you have less views when it's flat, and obviously when you have the hilly topography, you have more views. So that's just one of those things to be aware of. But what I love about Turtle Rock is that it's cooler, like you said. Anything west of the 405 freeway is primarily much more pleasant. I mean, and again, it's weird. And we're splitting hairs. I hate to say that because...
Although it's hot today.
It is hot today. Although compared to Vegas, it is not nearly as hot. But what I will say is that, anything west of the 405 freeway, much more pleasant weather. You're just that much closer to the coast. Yeah. And that just... So Turtle Rock definitely feels that benefit, right? So that's a thing to just be aware of. And again, it is on the older side, not a ton of gated communities as well here. There are some, not that many, but again, one of the more pricier areas in Irvine for sure.
Yeah, and so it's right next to the University of California, Irvine, which is obviously, like Sean was saying, it's a big job hub, a big seat of business, and obviously a lot of students go there. But because it is next to UCI, that's what we call it here locally, UCI. That means that it's zoned for University High School. So obviously, we were mentioning before, like the Irvine Unified School District, very famous for its very highly ranked, many nationally ranked schools. And University High School tends to be the highest ranking. Whatever these lists mean, I don't know. But it tends to be the highest ranking in Irvine, so a lot of people really like that because they really want to have their kids go to University High School.
Yeah, so they really push. So if you want your kid to be academically challenged, it really taking it to the nth degree. Yeah, University High School is a great option, especially for a public school. So that's just something to be aware of. That that's a huge feature. So University High School feeds into part of West Park as well as. Again, a lot of these other neighborhoods, kind of in this south/west of the 405 freeway. Yeah,
so it also is zoned for Turtle Ridge. If you want to show what Turtle Ridge is, that is newer, yes, and pretty much adjacent to Newport Coast, which is some of the most expensive real estate in the world. Yes. So that means that Turtle Ridge is just a little bit cooler. Some of those homes in there can even have ocean views.
Yes. So Turtle Ridge is very nice, and it's also gated, newer.
Well, some parts of it are, not all of it's gated.
Yeah, that's true. Not all, but I mean, there's a lot of gated communities within Turtle Ridge, newer.
Yeah. Guard gated even.
Yeah, guard gated with machine guns and everything like that. No. But basically, and obviously because you're right across the 73 freeway, which is a toll road. Because of that, you're again very close to the coastline, so the weather's even that much better. As you get that much closer to the coast. Yeah,
and then Shady Canyon, you want to click on Shady Canyon. So this is very ritzy community. There's definitely been celebrities that have lived in there. It's like rolling hills. So Sean, I've actually never been in there, but Sean has shown houses in there, and it's like a gate within a gate, right? And it's like these rolling estates.
Yeah, much more if you're looking for land, Irvine is not known for a place for land, as a general rule of thumb. So Shady Canyon is one of those few that offer that. Now, of course, that land comes at a premium. Yes. So just be aware that you're very quickly into the 8-figure range in Shady Canyon. Just be aware of it. But obviously what you get with that is, very secluded, gated, that kind of thing, as well as definitely newer, definitely bigger, not just the land. Like, so you can have land for like 20,000 plus square feet, if not larger, as well as you can have much larger homes too. Like, again, general rule of thumb, let's say like at least 5,000 square feet, like homes. Again, I don't want to like paint this all one way, but there's actually not a lot of homes in Shady Canyon in general.
Yeah. I remember when they were building it, so they were kind of debating. So this is the Irvine company. They were debating, like, should we make like a ton of homes like we usually do, or should we make this a place that's like super, super expensive homes, but not many of them? So they chose the super expensive homes and not many of them. And apparently, according to the article I read, it sold out like almost immediately. So
Yes.
I guess they made the right decision. So
It worked out, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, so Shady Canyon again. So you're not only close to the 73 freeway, but also the 133. And the 133 gets you all the way into Laguna Beach. So this will dump you all the way to Main Street, Laguna Beach. This is kind of, again, a very hopping,
Yes.
touristy area. Beautiful beaches and everything like
Yeah.
that. But that, again, if you want to get to Laguna Beach, it could be only a few minutes without traffic.
Without traffic.
But I mean, obviously, if it's on
With
a nice
traffic.
summer day, like
Yeah.
it's going to be a little bit backed up.
yes, for sure. It'll take you a while.
And I guess if we're here, might as well talk
Yeah.
about Quail Hill too.
So yeah, Quail Hill. That's a really cute neighborhood as well.
I like Quail Hill a lot. Yeah, definitely on the newer side. So post 2000, like so the aughts, right, of the
Yes.
2000 as well with when it was built. Not much gated, like in general. You have a mix of condos, townhomes, and single family residences. Like, there's also some homes with potential with some nice views. Not all of them, of course, but some nice views are there. So I mean, I like Quail Hill a lot. I actually find it, like, not too unreasonably priced for, again, being west of the 405 freeway, as well as just kind of the newness of it all.
Yeah, it's very cute. Yeah, and you can also have some views as well. So
like, we're doing Irvine as far as west of the 405. So I guess we should at least pay a little homage to the airport area of Irvine.
Oh, yes.
So if you're looking for more of a downtown kind of feel, like there's not any like single family residences per se. There's more just condos and some townhomes kind of thing. And that's in this airport area. So if I'm like backing up, they don't even like call it airport area, but basically on the map. But it's just right next to the airport. It's kind of like right around here, I guess.
Yeah.
And actually, more like...
And Boomers is there, most important.
More, yeah, definitely, that's true. So basically, it's kind of, between, let's say, the 73 and the 405 freeway. A lot of stuff happening here, a lot of stuff that's, again, built in the aughts of 2000 and newer. So, like, and actually there's some new construction even happening to this day in Central Park West, basically, in this little... It's actually right around here.
I feel like that's been built forever.
Well, they paused it during the financial crisis.
And they never kind of
but
started
now,
again.
No, and now they're resuming. Like, actually, they're going full bore with it.
Oh, really?
Good times,
How
right?
many years did that take?
Yeah, so you have a few pockets here. So this is where you can get some high-rise living. Again, Orange County is not known for much high-rises, but that you will find that here. So there's some towers of note that are like the Marquee, the Plaza. There's a few high-rise buildings in here. So if you want, like, again, that penthouse kind of thing, you have some options here. And then as well as you do have some like more mid-rise, like 4-ish story units and that kind of thing. And then in the Central Park West area, you do have some stuff that's even some townhomes. So there's where there's no one necessarily above or below you. So you have a bit of some options here. But yeah, that's kind of like the airport area in a nutshell.
Yeah.
So we took care of like west of the 405 freeway. So now we did a little bit of the flatlands.
The flatlands. I feel like this is like a Lord of the Rings map.
Yeah, this is true.
This is the flatlands.
This is true.
We have to make our way through the flatlands now.
This is you know what, you're right. And I
Yes.
guess we should
Yes,
talk
we
about El
should.
Camino.
I was just going to say that. You read my
See,
mind.
great minds think alike.
Yeah, El Camino Real. Oh, yeah.
So this here is interesting. So you're going, Sean, I do not want an HOA. This is my land. That's it. So now here is where you have some options where you can actually find some homes that actually you don't have at least that particular layer of oversight, right?
Yeah.
So you're not really paying HOA dues. You're not having these like strict HOA rules. Now with that, obviously the homes, there's not that uniformity. There's not that necessarily like that consistency, which some people will be like find that very refreshing. Other people going, wow, this is kind of not what I think of Irvine because it is so inconsistent.
Yeah.
So that's one of those things where we definitely recommend you go by there to kind of get a feel of it because it is very, very different from what you think of Irvine as far as that's concerned.
Yes, and within El Camino Real, there is a place that we love, a very good friend of ours. Here it is.
Oh, yeah. If you're looking for
a great preschool, so this is where our son went to preschool, not our daughter, but our son went here. And he learned how to speak Mandarin here.
五觉小满 song.
And Angie is one of the best teachers I've ever encountered, and she is so just wonderful with children.
Shout out.
Shout out to Angie. I mean, we just had lunch with her the other day. Sean wasn't there because he was showing homes, but
Working,
me and the
yes.
kids did. So, and
Without me.
yeah, without you. But yes, so that is in El Camino Real. So yeah, if you are looking for a good preschool.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely more than that.
Yeah, more
here.
like little neighborhoods.
Yeah,
But
like-
we're trying to get you just the flavor, right?
Yes, exactly. We're trying to get you some ideas as far as what's going on there. So now, like a lot of the newer stuff is, or actually not. Well, before I say that, actually, I shouldn't say that because Northwood, for instance, is one of those parts where it's actually on the older side too. It's kind of again built in the 70s, early 80s. So now, as we go east of the 5 freeway. So we're kind of like, so Northwood is one of those more, again, mature communities, a little bit more settled. And so a lot of these properties were built in the 70s and 80s as well. Again, you can see parks all over the place. We used to actually live in Northwood for a while. And again, great area, you know, really happy with it. I will say in the summers, it does get pretty toasty
Yeah, it
out there.
does. Yeah.
So just be aware that AC is going to be cranking. So be aware that the air conditioner, probably want to tune that thing up so that way it's running uber efficient or replace it altogether or get some solar panels going on. So you're not super worried about the electric bill. But, you know, to get an electric bill of $400 plus per month, you know, in the summer.
If not more.
Again, depending on how many people, how
Yeah.
you know, like how much of the day you're spending in there.
Yeah.
But just be aware that Northwood does get a little bit on the toastier side for sure.
For sure, yeah.
And again, it is pretty flat. So this area is still relatively flat. And then this kind of leads us to Northwood Point, which I actually really like a lot. I've had a few listings in Northwood Point. It's characterized by there's a lot of gated communities within Northwood Point. It's built more in the 90s, mid-ish 1990s. So by Orange County standards, it's actually relatively new. And these homes kind of range in size and stuff like that, but it's super cute. I like, you know, Northwood Point a lot. Again, it will get warmer in the summers. That's just what it is. But this area is super, super cute.
Yeah. So like we were mentioning before, Orchard Hills, definitely more hilly, so it doesn't have that same like flat feel that a lot of the flatlands are. We just coined that term right here. Nobody will know what we're talking about, but the flat part of Irvine. But then we also should definitely talk about, because you'll see that it's right next to this green part, and it's not green actually, it's brown.
Oh, it's green for that 1 month in the winter.
Yeah, it's green for that 1 month. And it was like 6 weeks this year that it was green because we actually had a lot of rain.
We did.
Yeah, so it was green for 6 weeks, but it's usually brown. And so you've got to know, so that does mean that there is heightened fire risk here.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things to be aware of because obviously when you ever have undeveloped land, like this Cleveland National Forest type area, just be aware that when it's undeveloped, you know, if a fire breaks out there, it can chew up some land pretty quickly before it gets to develop the land, right? So that's just so just be aware of it. So you will have likely higher fire insurance for your home. And again, it's just one of those things where you might want to, like, reach out to us so we can give you a copy of the map, like the fire authority map. Yeah. So we can so you can find out within Orange County what areas have heightened fire danger. Again, the likelihood of anything crazy happening is extremely low, especially if you're even just 1 or 2 rows in. Yeah. Because again, it's rare that it happens, period. But for it to actually, for a fire to kind of go through multiple rows of homes, it's extremely, extremely rare. Not to say it can't happen, it's just that it would just be very rare. These firefighters do a fantastic job of protecting life and property. So having said that, and now as we go into Orchard Hills, this is actually much more characterized by new. So this is actually even new by general standards, right? So I think there's still development happening right now as we speak. A lot of stuff was built in the 2010s. And so basically you have newer homes like, you know, it's hilly here, so more views. You have some gated communities, and again, because it's east, it is going to be on the warmer side too.
Yeah, so this is another area, a rare area in Orange County that is currently being developed. So this is rather new. It was a Marine base that they decommissioned, and
a Marine Air Base.
A Marine Air Base, yes. And then they have the Great Park here, which I don't know if you've ever seen any of our videos, but we like to joke that the Great Park isn't all that great, mostly because of what it was sold as, right? Like, they sold us as, oh, it's going to be, you know, the next Central Park. People are going to travel from all over the world to go to this great park. No, That is not what happened. It's a cool park, like how Sean likes to say. If you just came here and you were like, oh, this is really cool, like this is a cool park. Locals like to frequent it, but it's not a tourist attraction. So that's kind of why we joke about it.
Yeah, and also a lot of it's just used, like it's like as you can see by this is a lot of fields, and these are actually like for soccer, for volleyball, for baseball, softball, that kind of thing. So just be aware that a lot of the park itself is kind of more for
sports.
Yeah, extra like sports activities, like where and again it's great, it's nice and it's very large, but again it's just that what it was sold to us was. Again, they're comparing it to Central Park in New York City. You're going,
which is a joke.
That's kind of tough. I mean, that's a high bar to sell it. And again, obviously, it fell short of that.
Yeah, and it actually does have an ice skating
and volleyball stadiums and
baseball
stadiums
and I believe the Anaheim Ducks actually do practice here. So there's a big like hockey community here. So if you're interested in hockey, I mean, I don't know where you're coming from. So if maybe you love hockey, maybe you're coming from like Michigan or something, and you're trying to get out of the snow, but you still want your hockey. So here you go.
And they have a farmer's market too.
They do have a farmer's market.
Not the biggest, most robust one, but it gets the job done.
So the best farmer's market in all of Orange County is also in Irvine, and that is right on the border of.
So it's the Turtle Ridge.
Yeah, it's basically in the Turtle Ridge community.
Down that way. You're like.
Oh, here we are. Yeah. So the best farmer's market is actually in this community, and that's on Saturdays. And it's huge. It's a huge farmer's market. I love that farmer's market.
Yeah, Courtney knows the vendors by name.
Yeah,
they know her.
Me,
They know our kids. Like they're growing up and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, they do. I don't take them with me that often because I want to get my shopping done quickly.
Yeah, Courtney's very efficient. Go.
Yeah. Wait, so I gotta find my way back.
Where are you?
I'm trying to get back to the Great Park.
I will get you there.
Okay,
so Great
you can
Park,
tell that Sean's the driver.
Yeah.
So the other day, my daughter's like, "Mommy, Daddy's so much better than you at driving around."
And then also the Great Park area. So as we mentioned, so the Great Park is the feature of the Great Park area, right? But what you have here is tons of new construction that's happening. So this is one of the few areas where you have new construction or very new homes that have been built because, again, this is just when this was like released to be developed.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of that going on here for sure. And so yes, if you're looking for new construction, obviously reach out to us. Because at the same time, like you want to make sure that you're represented, whether it's us or someone else. Because the thing is that if you're just going to a builder directly, who's looking out for your interests? That's right. So you may not realize that, hey, you should get a home inspection done on a new construction because even though it's brand new, you think it's all good to go, but actually there's some kinks that need to be worked out, and hopefully the home inspector catches those kinks before you have a busted pipe that floods your first floor. I guess not your basement here. But also, I guess we should mention what it's next to is the Irvine Spectrum itself, which this is like one of the huge job hubs in all of Orange County because you have tons of headquarters located right here. And so like you have a lot of headquarters here, a lot of jobs here. And also you have a mega mall. One of the few mega malls in all of Orange County is the Irvine Spectrum Mall, the Irvine Spectrum Center. And it's just huge. It's got, you have movie theaters, you have tons of restaurants, you have entertainment options, shopping options. It is just massive. And it's got a nice variety of stuff. You have Target, Nordstrom, everything, everything that's in there.
Yeah, it's definitely like a destination mall, obviously. So people are going to be going there for entertainment. It's not just to shop. It's not like, some regular mall that you just go to because you have to pick something up. Like we're actually at the Spectrum all the time.
And we're not alone. I mean,
it's very busy.
Like the entire surrounding area
Yeah.
kind of frequents Irvine Spectrum rather frequently.
All of South County really uses the Spectrum as like their place of entertainment and their meeting place. Like anytime someone's like, oh, do you want to hang out? I'm like, yeah, let's just meet at the Spectrum.
Yeah, it's very easy because you'll be able to find something to do and eat there. So
something everyone
it's just
can
nice
agree
to
on.
set up. Yeah, they have Cheesecake Factory and just stuff. And actually from very run of the mill franchise type restaurants to actually very nice restaurants too. Very authentic ones.
Yeah.
And remember, we are licensed realtors here in the state of California. So as much as we love making these videos, what we love more is to help you with your real estate needs. So whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, what you want to do is you want to give us a call or shoot us a text.
Yes, remember that number is a cell phone, so you can call us or text us, or you can use WhatsApp if you're outside the country.